Hello, Brian. My name is Michael from USF.
Hey, Michael.
My name's Truman, USF as well.
Hello.
I just wanted to say thank you for allowing us to conduct this little interview and just have a discussion about a little bit of history of the Sunset Beach Cottages. So,
Sure.
well, first I wanted to start off with just a little bit about like your background, like what brings you out here. What brings you out here?
Well, my wife and I like to travel. We've traveled for many years. Unfortunately, we're not able to have kids, so we were able to travel quite a bit, more than normal people. And we always were attracted to the beach living, beach lifestyle. So about 4 years ago, my mother-in-law passed away, which kind of helped us not be tied to St. Louis anymore. So we decided to come out and search for the beach life. And we came across these little cottages, and we thought we could make it work, be a little mom and pop resort.
So tell us a little bit about the mom and pop. What's something you really like about it?
I like that we live on site, so we live in one of the cottages, so if anybody has any troubles or problems, we are here to take care of it right away. We have restrictions as far as we don't let 20 people in here. Nobody can really sneak anybody in here because we live here and we keep a close eye on things going on, which I think our guests enjoy because we are here and they feel safer that we are here and taking care of all their needs.
What kind of sets you apart from the competition? Because while driving over here, I saw like a couple more mom and pop type of resorts as well. So how's your relationship with them as well as what sets you apart?
Everybody thinks that, we all kind of have this group where we all get together and we all know each other's vacancies and how they run their business, which we really don't. I reach out to a few people. We do pass our names back and forth. We get in trouble over bookings and whatnot. You have other people that you can rely on. What makes us different is we are a tight-knit little family here. We have many guests that are here right now that all come here every year at the same time. They all get together every year. We have a good winter group, snowbirds that come down for months at a time. They all play games. They all have little cocktail parties in the afternoon. They play washers and other games. So it's more of a family type setting than going to a regular hotel.
And does that relate year-round, or is that typically just in the winter months?
It's typically pretty much January through May. It's kind of like that. We have a set of regulars and also the month of October. Summer months is a little different. We get people coming and going. I may clean the cottage 3 times in 1 week. Somebody stays 2 nights, we clean it. Stays 2 nights, clean it again. Typically, some of those people we don't get to know on a personal basis like we do the longer people that stay here for a long period of time. But still, I can tell they enjoy being here. My wife likes to make them brownies every once in a while, so we try and keep that personal feel to it.
So you said that you have similar or the same residents every year. So in your time here, you'll like typically have one family that'll come and stay for like a couple weeks at a time, and you remember them year in and year out?
I do, yes. Yeah, and we enjoy that. And then the way we kind of roll is around here is if it's your week, it's yours for life. So if you come here for the first 2 weeks of May, when you leave, you have the first right to book for the first 2 weeks of May in the same cottage for the following year.
Oh, that is really nice.
We have some guests that I inherited that have been here since the cottages opened in 2008. Last winter, they spent their 11th winter here for the same months.
Wow.
So in the same cottage, so it's, like I said, it's kind of like their little winter home.
All right, well, tell us a little bit about the cottages. I remember you saying something about the history. Can you walk us through a little bit of the different buildings?
Sure, and this is just kind of hearsay. Have not read this in a book, and I'm not sure fact, but I just go by what people have told me in the neighborhood. I've lived here for a long time. We have one of the cottages that was originally built in the 20s. It's a solid block building, which would be this one over here. The rest of them back along here, including this one, were old barracks in Fort DeSoto during World War II, and after the war they were moved here, and they were individually homes for people that individually bought them.
Okay.
In 2008, the prior owners had bought everybody out and opened up the whole place and made it a resort.
So how's your relationship with the previous owners? As you said before, you adopted some of their customers, like your
Yes.
customers. So how's your relationship with the owners? Like, was there a learning curve when you had to come and they kind of guided you through it?
There's supposed to be a nice learning curve. Once I kind of took over, that kind of went away, and I kind of just was thrown into this on my own and had to learn on my own, which is just trial and error. And luckily for us, people that come here are very, they just want to be at the beach.
Right.
Their cottage isn't quite ready. They're more than willing to be patient, go to the beach, go have a drink somewhere, have a bite to eat, come back, and we'll have it ready for them. So
So you were speaking on that. You got some challenges. What would you say is a unique challenge in running a mom and pop business such as this?
Well, that's a tough question.
We can always come back to it. That's fine.
I mean, as far as my daily use, or as far as the business end of it.
Whatever you think.
For us right now, it is the flood insurance, to be honest with you. I don't know, do you want me to get into, like, is that something you want to hear about, financing? That's our biggest.
I mean, you can tell us a little bit. Obviously, I don't.
Yeah, I'm not getting personal.
Like really on.
Right.
Like, open up the entire ledger, but like, I mean, obviously that's
Like
in
financing.
distinction between you and like a major like a major resort that may have millions and millions at their disposal.
Yeah,
Right.
and how the relationship is with like banks and stuff like that, because I know you have to get flood insurance and everything. So how does that work for a mom and pop like this versus?
Okay, so one of our biggest problems being a mom and pop and being a small business like this is the flood insurance. Obviously, we didn't pay cash, and if you own the property outright, you do not have to carry flood insurance. For us, flood insurance is really putting a lot of the mom and pop places out of business, unfortunately. It has gone up 25% every year and will continue to go up 25% every year with no cap seen unless the federal government steps in and helps us out. So you can kind of do your own math that 25% raise every year eventually would be paying more than the cottages would be worth.
I'm sorry to hear that. That is tough. That's really.
Yeah, and then we're not the only ones. Even people that don't own businesses, some of these houses are going for sale because they cannot afford the flood insurance anymore. Obviously, we're an old community. These cottages have been here a long time. They do sit on the ground, which the cost to build them up to the level that they want us to build it to, which I think is 11 feet.
Right.
And for me to raise the cottages, this wouldn't be cost effective.
Well, you were speaking a little bit about the history. Would you ever want the Sunset Beach Cottages to be distinguished as a historical landmark? And maybe some of those perks or benefits that might bring?
Yeah, if it brought me perks and benefits, sure. Yeah, I mean, our goal is we'd like to keep this as is. I mean, as you can see, we're old Florida is what people like to call us when they come here. They feel it's old Florida. This is what I used to go to when I was a kid back in the 60s and 70s. Little cottages on the beach. If you drive down Gulf Boulevard, you will not see a lot of these little cottages left anymore. So in our minds, even, as the money, flood insurance maybe continues to grow, we may have to do something in the future, but our goal would be to try and keep the cottages intact.
So, I mean, other than the flood insurance, so we don't get too negative,
Right.
but it is a important thing. I mean, how has the business been doing lately?
We've been doing really good.
That's good.
Every year we've increased our occupancy percent. Was 70 when I took over. I have it up to 80% now, which has a lot to do with a lot of repeat business that we get, a lot of repeat clients. What was it? Sorry, what was?
That was good on that. I'm trying to think of a follow-up. So you said you have a lot of your repeat customers, like what, and they look for the old Florida, but is there other stuff that people typically look for when they're staying with you?
A lot of people that stay with us, they like that they have their own little cottage. They don't have anybody living above them, living below them. We are small. We don't have a pool, so we don't attract a lot of kids, so we are quiet compared to most resorts with screaming kids running around, so people do like that about us. And I think we are unique compared to most hotels. They like the proximity to the beach, which we are across the street from the beach. We're not directly on the beach, but we are across the street from the beach, and it's literally 200 steps from my door to the water, which is not far.
And then you don't need a pool, right?
Exactly. We have a big pool across the street. That's what we like to tell people.
So I want to go back a little bit. Actually,
Sure.
You mentioned that this is a little bit of an old Florida experience, and how when you used to come down when you were younger, you see stuff like this. How have you seen it change? Like, can you describe old Florida and how you've seen it change, and how the landscape and businesses have changed and evolved?
I've only been to Florida. I mean, I get a lot of people that tell me this was what it was like when they were a kid. My family did not travel to Florida when I was a kid. I have been to Clearwater about 15 years ago.
Okay.
And we stayed in a little mom and pop place on the beach, a little hotel, motel, very nice, had a little kitchenette. We could prepare our meals and things there as we wanted to. I go to Clearwater Beach now, and they were all gone.
Right.
It is high rise after high rise after high rise. typically that's not how I like to vacation, and usually we don't vacation that way. Just the changes in the last 4 years since I have been here. I mean, you're seeing, if you drive down our street, you're seeing places that have been torn down and new condo buildings going up right on the beach.
Right.
As far as business-wise, business has been improving for us almost every year. I don't know if that's due to the economy growing and things like that, or maybe it's our personal touch that we put on this place and people enjoy coming back.
I would think people who go to resorts and then come stay in mom and pop places, they enjoy these a little bit more because it's less hectic and everyone's on their own schedule over here. So
Yeah,
yeah, I like this environment that you guys have over here.
it's very
like,
peaceful here.
It's like a small little neighborhood within the bigger neighborhood. So
Yeah.
Like you have a nice
Like,
quiet getaway
right,
as opposed
right.
to
There's no restaurants around here. There's no casinos.
Screaming, yeah.
Yeah, we enjoy it. We do live on property, and that's one benefit that we enjoy most about it. Is
Yeah.
we enjoy the beach lifestyle, and yeah, we're not in a hotel high-rise with 200 other people and 200 rooms.
So where do you see the future of these cottages as well as the future of the area? Where do you see it going in the next 5 years, 10 years?
Like I said, our goal is to hopefully keep these cottages up and running and keep them intact as is. We do know that what they like to do with places like ours is come in and buy them up dirt cheap, tear it down, and build a nice big condo association or a big hotel. Like I said, I hope we do not see that happen. The neighborhood, I see staying the same. Sunset Beach is a rare neighborhood for everybody out there. It's part of Treasure Island. We're not St. Pete Beach. We're not busy. We don't have a lot of restaurants, bars that sit on the beach. If you get back into the neighborhood, there's not a lot of rental property except for people that rent their homes out, but there's not a lot of resorts. And I see Sunset Beach staying that way. I think the community wants to keep it that way.
Well,
That's
that
That's
is
really good
nice.
to
And
hear.
I think if you keep up this personal touch, like this would definitely be someplace I would want to do a weekend getaway with, like my
Yeah.
family or
Sure.
my significant other or whatnot.
Probably
so,
not my friends because they might be a little bit too loud.
yeah. Yeah,
Remember, I do live here. I cracked down on that.
But in all, I think if you just keep doing what you're doing,
Yeah.
and I mean, I think with building those personal relationships and having those repeat customers and rather than just treating people as another number and you push them through, check them in, check them out, but actually caring for them, I think that's what really sets you apart. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
it's like nice to hear that we still have some of that in 2018.
Yeah, it's rare around here, and I know it is because I drive up and down. Like you say, you might see a few, but most everybody's going to the bigger resort-style restaurants, swimming pools, hot tubs.
Well, I think.
So just one last question. Just a quick question to wrap it up.
Well, if you have something to follow up with, that's everything. Like I had kind of.
I mean, just a sum up question type
Mhm.
of thing. Like to your guests, where do you suggest they go in this area? Because I know there's a bunch of historical landmarks. I don't know if you know the Gulf Beaches Historical Museum. It's located on Paso Grill. There's a lot of historical landmarks here. So where do you suggest people go if they want to come in this area?
Like a must-see attraction.
A must-see attraction. I usually tell them the Dolly Museum, downtown St. Petersburg, which I think the downtown area is a very nice area. They're doing a lot of building and a lot of, I think they're being progressive of trying to be more of a small but big city items in there. And I usually send people down to the Dolly Museum. I think it's a good day trip. I usually send them over to the hangar for lunch and watch the planes take off and land. That's always a fun time. Typically, most of our guests, they're beach people. They come here, they go to the beach. That's what they're here for. They do look, yeah, John's Pass. We send them there on rainy days, stuff like that. But majority of our guests that come in here for the weekend, especially in the summertime, they're here to enjoy the beach life and enjoy the beach.
I guess we're used to it because we're here in Florida. But
Right.
For others, that's their
It's their 1 week they get a year to be at the beach, and they usually take full advantage of it.
that's good.
That's all the questions we
Yeah.
have. Thank you
Okay.
so much for this.
Oh, you're welcome. It was a pleasure.
Is there anything else you'd like to share, though?
Yeah, on your end, like
Yeah. Anything you'd like to tell us, the camera, anyone?
Not really. I don't know.
that's
Not good off the cuff. Ask me a question, I can answer it, but.
To reach out to you?
We're just basically on Facebook. Everybody asks me, what do you do for advertising? Everybody's like, how do you get the word out that you exist? To be honest with you, we do not spend a lot of money on advertising. Everybody's like, why are you not on VRBO? Why are you not on vacation home rentals? They charge a lot of money. I don't think people are aware of that.
Yeah.
They want $1,000 to list each cottage, which is $6,000 for me, or $5,000 to having 5 rental properties. which they would have to bring me a lot of business to cover that cost.
Yep.
And we are at 8% occupancy already, so it's hard for people to get in. I mean, like I said, you cannot get in here January 1st through May 15th. I have a waiting list of 20 people on it.
Wow.
My best advertisement, a plug for them, is Caddies on the beach. Everybody goes to Caddies. Only way on Sunset Beach, to go anywhere on Sunset Beach, you have to drive by our property and you see our sign and you see these little cottages. So we get a lot of people that stop their cars, take pictures of our sign, a lot of foot traffic. So that's kind of our
So that word of mouth is just
word of mouth. I was a painting contractor for 20 years. I never advertised once.
wow.
It was all word of mouth. Do a good job, be polite, be nice, be clean, clean up after yourself. People will refer you.
And I think that's what carries over
Yep.
to
And that's,
your business here today. So
yes, that's what I've tried to carry
That's
over
what I
here.
like about it.
yeah,
It's
that's
very
nice to hear. So,
just nice and down to earth type of place. Just
Well,
take care of yourself.
yeah, I think that's all we got.
Yeah.
Thank
Excellent.
you again,
Time.
Brian.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's a pleasure.
Cut.
Cut.